Crush Saga, Pet Rescue, Subway Surfer. Now I don't need to tell you what these are, because chances are most of you would be playing these games for an hour each day probably, if not more. And your options are not just limited to these. There are so many more gaming options out there for you to explore. So move over console games. Now it's mobile gaming that's hit the Indian market and it's taking it by storm. And for those out there who are looking for a job opportunity in this particular field, well, I'll tell you everything that you need to know. His first brush with gaming back in school was enough to convince Shantanu that gaming was the career he wanted to pursue. Since then, every step he took along the way brought him closer to fulfilling his dream. And after starting off by developing many console games, today Shantanu finds himself developing mobile games.
Since the touch mobiles have come up and smartphones are there, so it is an interesting thing. You get to develop certain games, and as there are various different screen sizes and resolutions, you have to keep those things in mind and work accordingly. So it is sometimes difficult and sometimes easy to implement certain things, as there are different resolutions where you have to also think about those factors and keep that in mind and develop. So it is a learning process, it is a continuous learning process, so it just keeps changing every day in and day out, so just have to keep yourself updated.
Shantanu isn't the only one who dreams of making his mark in the field of gaming, and what better aspect of gaming to choose than one that is growing every day? Hence mobile gaming is often the obvious choice. With an increase in the number of offtake of smartphones, cost of phones is at an all-time low. Coupled with improving connectivity and broadband penetration, mobile gaming has been thriving. According to reports, the Indian gaming industry is expected to grow over 46 billion rupees by 2016. In 2014, the market share of mobile gaming industry stood at 45%, while console gaming stood at 36%, and PC and online gaming stood at 19%.
As the smartphone penetration increases, content is something which users across different countries, and especially in India, are going to be asking for more and more. And with 3G and 4G penetrating deeply in different parts of India, we'll see more and more content coming. So right now, most of the content which dominates is kind of global content which is consumed by the Indian audiences. But as the internet capabilities improve and mobile internet becomes even more cheaper, I think we're going to see a lot more regional content coming up.
So what are the job profiles that you could pursue in this field? While a programmer takes care of designing the structure of the game, an animation expert covers the art and design of the production process. Right from animation to game level, modeling, texturing, lighting and rigging are taken care of by the animation expert and the game developer, who also conceptualizes the game. Expert skill sets are required right from the inception of the game.
Mobile game development or game development in general, the easiest way to make people understand would be to talk about it in terms of a movie or a film, where you have an initial stage of planning and pre-production where you think about an idea or a theme and you really work on flushing out that idea or theme and understand the details and nitty-gritties and identify what the vision and treatment for a particular game is going to be. So we'd call that pre-production, and then you have the production phase where you sort of get rolling, getting all the assets done, getting the code done. You have QA running through all the features, making sure everything works fine. And then you have post-production, which is again very similar to films, pre-launch and sort of creating a buzz, letting people know what the game is about, taking the game to the market and getting people aware about the new game that's launched.
But despite the rising demand, one of the biggest drawbacks the mobile gaming industry faces is the lack of skilled professionals. Lack of professional courses to match the required skill sets of the industry is the grassroots level challenge most gaming companies face. While the big names have the required funds to train their employees constantly, for startups, however, operating on a limited budget, acquiring skilled talent is an added challenge they often face.
The mobile revolution has given them the impetus to start it, because this platform is very friendly. Apple and Google have made it very easy for any new indie developer to start from the a garage itself and make a few games and launch it there. So we're seeing a lot more funding happening in this space. We're seeing a lot more startups, and some of the initiatives that we have taken, we're seeing a lot of response happening out there.
It isn't just the big names who are innovating and doing some exciting work in the field of mobile gaming. Just how are startups faring in this particular field? Well, to find out that, I have with me the team of Spiel Studios. So Mohit, tell me a little bit about how you started off with Spiel Studio.
I had founded Spiel in 2007, when there was nothing about gaming happening in India. People didn't know about gaming, and this was something new that I wanted to try and do. And with a friend, I started Spiel Studios in 2007.
So why the focus on mobile gaming?
Right, people are doing all kind of stuff. They were into software development. There was a lot of outsourcing happening in software PC market, but nothing in mobile where games was a focus. So that's the reason I wanted to do something different, where we try and do games which is offbeat and which is not very available in the market very easily.
When you're designing the games, so what is it that you keep in mind?
When we make any game, we have to make it according to the universal audience, not only for Indian youth or just or a Western youth. So for that I have to keep in mind for which audience I'm creating a game basically.
Is there any particular challenge that you would want to speak about?
Challenges basically, sometimes in today's market we have lots of similarities going inside the game, so something unique that I want to give my players. So I have to design some kind of unique mechanics in every game.
What are the qualifications required to become an artist in the gaming field?
I guess just be an artist, just keep drawing and let your imagination run wild.
Right.
That's the major qualification that you need, and you need to learn some softwares, 3D softwares majorly, but that's a tool, because when you're an artist the tool doesn't matter. All that matters is your skill and your practice, so that's what matters.
So at a time when the market is being dominated by giants like Reliance and Hungama, what are the exact challenges that an indie game developer faces?
Well, there are pros and cons to both. Here we get the opportunity to, create what we want to create. We don't have any baggage. We're not responsible for someone's money over here. It's if we like a particular project, we can take the liberty. We have the creative freedom to develop what we want to develop and what we think the players would like to play. So that is one important thing, that being a startup, being an indie, we have the freedom for that. But there are many cons. It's difficult in marketing a particular genre if you don't have an IP with you, or you don't have a celebrity, or you don't have someone backing your project. Then marketing becomes a big challenge. But if the product is good, the App Store, Apple, Google, they support you in featuring your product, and through that you can get a lot of exposure.
So when it comes to marketing, what are the most innovative techniques that you all have used so far?
Well, as an indie, you need to be very innovative in marketing, because you don't have huge cash piles to just burn. So you have to take the indie route for marketing, go through social network, create videos that hope to go viral, and get the youth to play the game.
So we looked at how an independent game development company functions. On the other side of this short break, I got talking to Manish Agarwal, the CEO of Reliance Games. We'll hear what he has to say about the latest emerging trends in this field. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. Today we have with us Mr. Manish Agarwal, the CEO of Reliance Gaming. Thank you for joining us, sir.
My pleasure.
So how does the mobile gaming industry in India fare at the moment?
Mobile gaming India is the fastest growing market because of the smartphone explosion which is happening here. We have roughly around 150 million smartphones, and you can say 200 million mobile gaming users, and it's like roughly around 50 to 60 million games are getting downloaded every month. So in terms of sheer number of downloads, India is the fastest growing market on mobile gaming. The monetization is still an issue because of a couple of reasons. One, culturally we love not to get everything free. The second thing is the last mile billing is a problem which I am very sure will get solved with so many wallet companies coming in and all of it. And third is the internet speed, that is still kind of an issue.
So if you compare this to, let's say, the statistics we've been seeing in terms of, the PC gaming. So what is the difference there?
See, PC gaming, because the PC internet didn't happen in India. So the PC gaming is a very, very small component compared to mobile gaming. Now mobile gaming touches everyone. It touches women at 60, 65 playing Candy Crush. It touches a youngster playing some kind of, same Candy Crush or some other games. So 3-year-old to a 60, 65, 70-year-old, everybody is playing mobile game. Now mobile has become an extension of your own self.
Correct. So when it comes to the qualifications, is there anything in particular that you're looking at when you're hiring people?
So one of the things which before I answer, gaming is still seen as a very, geeky stuff. And there is a big myth that you need to be an engineer to be on a gaming, you need to have an animation which you're in gaming. I think today the numbers which I just articulated, if you just put them in perspective, you are as big a reach as a television. You are a bigger reach than a Bollywood movie. So you require people from all walks of life, from all professions to come and start creating and developing games. Because it's a consumer entertainment business. It's not a software business. And in consumer entertainment business, you require people who can think of consumers, who can think of storytelling, who think psychology, who think physiology, who knows how to really do engineering, who know how to create art, who know how to create creative visualization, and who know how to really create monetization. So you require people from all walks of life. So one of the thing which India is struggling is that typically software engineers only make games. And hence other people think it's a geeky stuff, I'm not going to do it.
True.
Now that will change and has to change because if there are 200 million people playing games, it's a serious business. And if you want to really if you are enthusiastic and passionate about creating entertainment content, this is the place you need to be.
So what about the more advanced levels of gaming? Let's say if you want to get into that, is there a particular course that needs to be done that we don't have at the moment?
See, fundamentally, there are universities outside India. Any developed country, gaming is the most sought after because of the size of the business. So, universities have courses which are dedicated for gaming and then further divisions within gaming. So, game design is a course, game production is a course, game art is a course. In India, we do not have such things happening in university as we speak. However, there are colleges which are doing specialization in gaming, like Gaming College of Bangalore or DSK in Pune. Now those are the far and few colleges, but they are really helping you to give you perspective about what entails in gaming.
So Reliance has also been funding a lot of startups in this particular field. Considering it's a niche, so Reliance is funding a lot of startups in this particular field. But considering it's such a niche business, what sort of response have you received from these startups?
One of the things which is very heartening is that in over 3 years time, I have seen personally roughly around from 30-35 game development studios, small and big. Today India is roughly around 250 game development studios. So the excitement about mobile gaming is just increasing and increasing and increasing. We are very committed to really discover such good talent. What are we looking for? We are looking for good teams and good ideas. And which is why we initiated a concept called Game Hack, which is 6 city. We go and meet with a lot of such companies which want to showcase their ideas. And then there is a local jury which kind of selects them. And 5 people get come out shortlisted from every city. So we have around 30 such teams already shortlisted. Okay. So there is opportunities are there. For Reliance Games, our main task is to discover such talent, and that's why the ideas like Game Hack and the Pocket Gamers Connect, we are investing our time, effort, money to really provide a platform for such startups to come and share and showcase.
So considering in Hollywood most of the movies are converted into games, how has the trend been like in India? Are we seeing the same?
What we do is, I'm saying one of the strategy for Reliance Games has been to work with Hollywood studios across, and we work with all these studios. So it is, the difference is in Hollywood the game doesn't come after the movie. Okay. The game comes before the movie.
Right, as a teaser to it.
No, not is a teaser, no, it's a full-fledged marketing engagement. Yeah, and it's a serious monetization business. So what we do is when the movie gets green light, the game also gets green light. So the cycle is 12 months. So we work, like for example, we are working on games for this year December and next year July. So we are talking to the studios now for that time period. Now that is the maturity of that market because they understand that game development of that quality and scale takes 8 to 9 months, right? And that is where the difference in the Indian market and Hollywood market is.
That was my colleague Angita joining us from Bombay, talking about the different job profiles that exist in a mobile game development company. But the list will remain incomplete if we do not talk about a mobile game reviewer. Amit Goel's story is next. A multifaceted personality, Amit Goel did his bachelor's in engineering and also holds an MBA. He has worked in the corporate sector, written a book, has co-founded a mobile game development startup called Super Sykes, and somewhere in between, also manages to find the time to review games for the Sunday Guardian.
I am an engineer by education, and then I went on to do an MBA. And then I've worked in the corporate sector. Now I have my own company. We make video games. And in between all of this, I have been reviewing games. That's been happening for a very long time now. I've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years, and I've even written a book.
Like most gamers, his fascination with games started at an early age.
The first time I got exposed to gaming was when my dad used to take me to his office, and we didn't have a computer at home, and I used to play games like Prince of Persia and Dangerous Dave. He had this one computer over there where he put a bunch of games. So he'd just take me there and he'll put me in on that one computer, and I'll just sit there from morning till evening. And I think that is when my love for gaming started. So
he wrote The Lost Story, a fiction novel in collaboration with friend Sudhanshu Gupta. A storyteller and gaming aficionado, Amit is an example of a perfect mixture of interest and skills necessary to become a successful game reviewer.
As a opinion piece that you're writing, or as a review that you're writing, you need to have a good control over language. You need to kind of read the pulse of your readers. I mean, if you look at different review websites as well, so if you go to say a Eurogamer, they have a more artsy approach to their reviews. If you go to a Joystick, you'll find a more light, funny sort of an approach to the whole thing. So somewhere reading your audience and kind of writing content which appeals to them. The other thing is obviously a love for gaming. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to really like games.
His first review was published on IndianVideoGamer.com, one of India's largest online gaming forum. While that was the beginning, he has come a long way over a period of time. Currently, he reviews games for the Sunday Guardian on a regular basis.
IndianVideoGamer.com, and I am still writing for them. So they were the first people to give me a break, and that is where I also learned how to got better at writing game reviews. Over time, I have worked with other places as well. I'm currently working with Sunday Guardian as well. I do a review every couple of weeks for them.
Skills aside, and talking about the nuances of reviewing a game, Amit says, while reviewing, one should stick to the genre of games one has a better understanding of.
People prefer certain types of games, and eventually reviewers end up reviewing the kind of games they play a lot, because then they tend to develop a understanding of that genre. So if you have a person who likes a lot of RPGs, for example, so he will eventually like to review more and more RPGs because of the fact that since he's been exposed to so many of them, he will end up having a better understanding of them. He'll be able to do a comparative analysis in a much better way. He'll be able to write, and he'll be able to draw references because he would have ended up playing more RPG games as well.
Objectivity is always a big point of concern for reviews of any kind, and things can't be very different when it comes to game reviews. But Amit doesn't see that as a problem. On the contrary, he feels if biases are not exaggerated, they can lead to a review that is wholesome and comprehensive.
I think objectivity is something which is a little overrated. Everyone has a certain bias, and that bias will eventually come into your review as well. But at the end of the day, you really need to give them context, because people understand context the best. So you may not, in vacuum, that game may not be anything. But if you have enough context, if you've played enough games, you can give context, you can give references, and people are able to form a better picture of whether this game is for me or not.
Finally, we asked him about what makes a game better than others.
In my opinion, review is my opinion, and it's just a matter of fact that my opinion is at a place where it's being read by a lot of people. So my approach to reviews is that I play the game as anyone would play a game. Even if I wasn't reviewing the game, I would probably play it in the same way. I do notice more. I probably go through a game faster because I have to meet a deadline.
Content which is engaging, command over language, and above all, love for gaming. Do you think you have the right mixture of all that? If your answer is an affirmative, maybe writing game reviews is your calling. Why not give it a try? While gaming is in its nascence in the country, mobile gaming already constitutes a big chunk of it. Industry experts predict an ascending growth curve. On that note, we will wrap up today's show. We hope you enjoyed watching it. Until next time, goodbye and thanks for watching. examinations could be a cause of a lot of worry and pressure. To discuss the role that a teacher can play in helping a child handle examination pressure better, I'm joined by Diti Chaudhary, educator, Sparsh for Children. Diti, tell me why this pressure first of all around examination?
Unfortunately, the system is such that marks have become the most important thing for a student, right? Results, results, results. That's the only thing, as if, you know, students, especially who are in the 12, they are studying only for results. That is the reason of the pressure. If I don't get good marks, what will happen of my future? It's as if, you know, a do or die situation. And it's not correct. It's not healthy mentally for the child. It exerts a lot of pressure on him, on his, you know, learning mind. Instead, you know, the students should focus more on learning. As a teacher, as an educator, that is what I would tell my students, that you need to focus on the learning process. What have you learned? What is it that you can take forward from here, rather than just the number that you get at the end of the examination, you know, in those 3 hours.